This video is to tell you about how you can get a pre-publication copy of this new book, complimentary, to read and enjoy. The title of the book is How and Why Homeschool Math Can Be Vastly Superior to Public School Math. Now that's quite a statement, and that's something that homeschoolers are thrilled about today, the ones that have learned about it and know about it. And you can get your free copy of this book very quickly and easily. Now the book comes in both a printed form as a PDF and as an audio form, so you can actually hear each of the chapters done in an audio format if you want. And to get that immediately, you can just click on Claim Your Copy here, and that will go down to the bottom of this page and claim your book, and you go over here and it tells you what you're getting and why you're getting it and who's recommended it to you and why you're getting it. And then all you've got to do is enter three things: the number of students you have that are more or less high school age, 12 to 18, your first name or your nickname, your email address so we can communicate with you to give you your book, and some optional things if you want to tell us that might help us serve you better. And then simply click on the submit, and within 24 hours you will get your free complimentary copy of the ebook. In this ebook, you're going to discover how you can teach post-elementary math in a vastly superior way that is being done today in our public schools. And you're going to learn how to apply what we call the proper pedagogy. That's how you teach, and also the proper content, and that's a really big deal, along with the math tools that your students need today in this world we live in, this modern world. And this is very illuminating, and you'll find it very worthwhile. So you're going to get an understanding of today's math education crisis and why it's there, if you care about that. If you don't care about that, just learn how to teach math great to your students. Now here are the table of contents. It's a 73-page book, and here's what I recommend that you do. First of all, you should definitely read or listen to the preface and the introduction and Chapter 1. In Chapter 1, we talk about spike pedagogy, which is the way you can teach math as a homeschooler that the public schools really can't do. The introduction is just going to give you an overview of the book, so that'll really let you know what it's about and maybe guide you in which chapters you want to read. And I might say the preface, it just sort of tells you about how this all came about, my background and so on. Now once you've done that, if you have a child that's struggling, you're going to want to go to Chapter 2 and read that, because that's going to tell you how you can take a child that's struggling with math, doesn't like math, afraid of math, whatever, and turn them around. And that's something homeschoolers can do that's extremely difficult for public schools to do. But if you don't have a child struggling, let's just say you have a child doing fine in math, then Chapter 3 is going to tell you the very best way today that you can give your child a great education in algebra and geometry and trigonometry and beyond. And by the way, you can do that first time through very, very efficiently and easily, and very valuable for your child. Now, there's different categories of children. If you have a student, a child, that's not interested in college, then Chapter 4 is for you, because this is going to tell you the math that you need to teach that child so they can go out and have a wonderful career in some technical field or the military or something like that. There's math that'll just make their life so much better, and you're going to learn that in Chapter 4. And by the way, we start all students with that math, so you probably want to read that anyway. Now, if you have a college-bound student, but not interested in science and engineering or technology, not STEM they call it, then Chapter 5 is for you, because they need more math in order to do well on the standardized tests and to meet the high school requirements, but they don't need the math that the STEM students need. And so we handle that in our program and explain what you should do. If you have a child that is interested in science and engineering and technology, then Chapter 6 is for you, because that child needs math way beyond what the other two categories needed. And we tell you how to do that. And it's amazing today with the new tools. You'll find this an extremely interesting and illuminating chapter. Now, in order to teach math properly, it takes both a teacher and a coach. That might be one person, but often it's two. Most homeschool parents, virtually all, can be great coaches. The teacher's another problem. And what I'm going to show you in this chapter is how you can get a teacher like me online very inexpensively to work with you as a coach to teach your child math, proper math. Chapter 8 is how to be a great coach, just to give you an outline, and you probably know all this already, but here are the things a great coach needs to do. And by the way, the coach doesn't have to know math. The coach, that's not what it's about. The coach is there to give a personal advice and so on to the student. You'll learn all about that in Chapter 8. Now, these first 8 chapters are probably all you're going to really need to know what you need to know to give your child a great math education, whatever category they fall into. Chapters 9 and 10 are designed to tell you, and whoever's interested, in why our public schools are failing and why a homeschooler can be vastly superior to our public school. Chapter 9 is about our standard math curriculum. It's evolved over the last 100 years or so, and why it is so bad. It doesn't serve any of these categories well, as you'll understand why. And this then in Chapter 10 is why our public schools are failing our students in math. And by the way, it's not the teacher's fault. It's a systemic problem, and the homeschoolers can escape it. And that's why this book is all about, why homeschoolers can do a vastly better job. Now, Chapter 11, I think you will find interesting. This is a chapter on financial facts of life aimed at any student, particularly students that might be, well, first of all, if they want to go to college, how can you do that without incurring a lot of debt? And Chapter 11 is all about how to do that. It also is for students that don't want to go to college but want to have a great life. And again, it's financial facts for them. I think Chapter 11 for students might be the most valuable chapter in the book. You probably want to have your student read Chapter 11 for sure, or listen to the audio of it. Now, Chapters 12 and 13 are really just kind of interesting, talking about Chapter 12 is the future of our economy, and Chapter 13 is the future of our society. You might find that interesting, but it's just started to show you our viewpoint on what the future might hold. And Chapter 14 is for those rare students that think they might want to be professional mathematicians. There's so much more that they need that they're going to be getting from any high school. And so, but it's a rare student that is in that category. So if you do happen to have a student that loves math and thinks they might want to be a mathematician, you want to read Chapter 14. I will tell you, it's got a lot of technical information in it that you'll find very exciting, let's just say, if not intimidating. But I think it's a good chapter for any potential future mathematician. And Chapter 15 then is conclusions. Once you've read the chapters you're interested in, what should you do? What's the conclusions you should draw? What action should you take? And that's Chapter 15. Now, we've added 2 addendums. Addendum 1 is how sapiens, and that's you and me, that's human beings, have always communicated throughout our history, going back probably, 200,000 or 300,000 years to the future, up to about 1950. And you won't learn much you didn't already know, but it's just going to kind of put it in perspective for you to see how different it is today, because Addendum 2 is 21st century communication, and it is radically different than it used to be. And this is what our children are going to be faced with in the future. So I would say that everybody's going to want to read Addendum 2, even if you don't read any of the rest of the book, just to see what the future holds. I think Addendum 2 is looking into the future in a very dramatic way. Now, there's some book reviews that you can look at and read, but really you're going to want to try it yourself. This is me. I'm Craig Hain. I'm 80 years old. I've been teaching math for decades, many decades. I got my PhD in algebraic number theory over 50 years ago, and I've been teaching math at all levels, including workforce math, for many decades. And so that's what I've learned in that time is what's the basis of the programs that we've developed. You're going to learn about our 6-tier program that we offer to students that help the parent then teach math to their student by letting me be the online teacher through videos. So I encourage you to go down and claim your copy and get this book. It's, like I said, it costs nothing. It's both audio and visual, and you can read it or listen to it. And our mission now, so you understand it, and the point of the whole book, reason I've done all this, is to help you give every child you have an optimal math education. We believe that if a child has an optimal, appropriate math education for that child, it will vastly improve their life. And that's what our mission is all about. And that's what this book is all about. And I'm sure that's what you care about too. So read the book and learn how that we can help you do that and what you can be doing. And I wish you then to have a great life, and more importantly, perhaps, for you to help your children have a great life. So Dr. Dell, I will probably see you on another video sometime. Have a great life.